weirdest gig moment.
People who play in bands, people who book bands, and people who like to watch bands are generally quite weird. So there's always just weird stuff happening all the time.
Oh, I'll tell you, when we played at the university on the day that all the students arrived, so they was all just bloody catatonic, half of them. They were just too knackered to be entertained. And obviously we're quite a heavy-ish rock band, so like they they just weren't in. I mean, they might have been into it, but they were just too knackered to appreciate our energy, I think.
This was at the Cotswold, and we'd literally just stopped playing, and I was covered in sweat and carrying my guitars, because you know, you got to get your guitars out of the way. And this guy, he'd obviously had a few beverages. He was like, and he clung onto me. He was like, "Mate, you're the best guitarist I've ever seen." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, I just need to like."
And not only that, but during that gig, my guitar, which wasn't my guitar, it was Simon's, because mine was on the blink. So the strap nut popped, it just broke out, and it pulled half of the wood thread and everything out of it. So I couldn't even screw it back in. I just had to play with one foot on a sofa in their sort of like communal area. And yeah, I had to play the rest of the gig like that with no strap. We could barely move. It's quite annoying.
And then he was like, "Sign my arm." I was like, first of all, I literally can't, because I'm carrying guitars covered in sweat. And second of all, why would you want me to say you're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, "What's this on my arm?"
And wasn't it that this was the same gig that they were supposed to put our mix through all of the speakers going through like the cafeteria and everything, so that we could be heard throughout the entire establishment, but they only managed to wire Simon's vocal through, so that's all they got was Simon. Throughout the rest of the college was just Simon singing through the PA all over the university. I don't know whether that categorises as the funniest or weirdest. Both. I'm going to jam that in both of there. I forgot about that one. That's a good one.
There's, like I say, there's always weird stuff happening at gigs, which is part of the fun, I think.